broadcasting live 4 days a week worldwide
from the sunny beaches of Southern California.
This is ExtremeHealthRadio.com.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Extreme Health Radio. This is Tristan Truscott, co-creator of the Good Morning, Good Evening Qigong with my dear friend and partner, Peter Ragnar. And it's awesome to be on the show with everybody.
We are broadcasting live, aren't we?
We are.
As you're cutting a little piece of pear for a snack?
That's right. Maggie wants it, but I'm not giving it to her. It's mine.
It's yours.
My pear.
You're eating on the air.
I am, but I'm almost done.
Oh my gosh.
It's just rude.
Well, this is the laid-back, relaxed, free-for-all Friday atmosphere that we have here.
We can eat. We can...
Maggie can lay on her BioMat.
Maggie can lay on the BioMat.
Is she on the BioMat?
She's sacked out on the BioMat.
Is she?
Oh, so cute.
That's cute.
She loves that thing. They weren't kidding when they said animals and dogs really dig it.
Yeah, she loves it, doesn't she? She's all curled up. What? I think we have it on the medium temperature, don't we?
Yeah, it's on medium. When it gets too hot for her, she's only on it for a few minutes and then she gets uncomfortable.
Yeah. And this
little doggy body can't handle a whole lot.
It can't. She's only 10 pounds.
She's only 10 pounds of weenie.
10 pounds of weenie.
10 pounds of weenie dog.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us on this episode of Free For All Friday show. We're hopefully you're having a great day wherever you are in the world today. My name is Justin, and that voice you heard was my wife,
Kate, eating a pear.
Eating a pear, and she'll be done in just a moment. And we're broadcasting live worldwide from Southern California. It's a beautiful day here, and let's see, it's Sunday, November 24th, 2013. So hopefully you guys are enjoying your day wherever you are in the world.
Getting ready for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. You know, it's weird. Here in Southern California, it just does not feel, like I was saying earlier with you, it does not feel like the holidays, does it?
No. We were walking through the pharmacy up the street getting some paper towels, and it took going down an aisle with Christmas decor to even know what season it was.
I know, right?
We're seasonless here in Southern California.
Yeah.
At least this year it's been really, really warm.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Like, it just does not feel like summer, or it doesn't feel like...
Christmas time?
Christmas time or...
Holiday time? Thanksgiving?
Yeah, at all.
Oh, no.
It's crazy.
You know how I feel about seasons, but I'm trying to embrace this, because, I mean, it's amazing. It's lovely, but... I know. I just want to... I hope that it just pours rain this year on, like, Christmas.
I know. Wouldn't that be nice?
Something.
Yeah.
Mix it up a little. We did have a lot of rain this week, though, so...
We did,
That was our great torrential storm of 2013.
Yeah.
Lasted for 2 days.
Yeah, for 2 days. There's...
on and off.
There's on and off sprinkles. It's like...
Made my car just a little bit dirty.
California bracing for torrential downpour. You see on the news, and it sprinkled a couple days.
It actually came down and didn't sprinkle.
Yeah.
I got stuck in my car. I couldn't get into the house. I sat out there for about 5 minutes because it just poured.
Yeah.
But
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But yeah.
Today we walked Maggie through the park and...
took off our shoes and ran with her. It was so nice to be barefoot.
Yeah, we had some vitamin D going. It was nice and sunny. I mean,
some vitamin D going.
Blue skies out there today.
It's beautiful. We're blessed.
Yeah, it's great. And so hopefully you guys are enjoying your holiday season wherever you are around the world. Hopefully it's good. And this is episode number, let's see, 170.
No, it's not. 183.
183. It shows you how much
You're never going to...
I have no idea. I have to look at my show notes here.
What would you do without me?
183. And if you'd like to follow us on Facebook and keep up to date with our shows, feel free to do that. We'd love to have you join our community. All you have to do is go to extremehealthradio.com/Facebook, and there's a little like button on there that you can click to like us, and you'll be up to date with all of our shows, our past shows. We usually post our upcoming shows and our past shows, all kinds of stuff on there. So it's a great way to keep up to date with us as well. And if you'd like to join the show, there's lots of different ways to do that. You can call in during our Friday shows, we take calls. You can call 949-505-9585.
Which is right now. So anybody listening, please feel free to call and chat with us.
Yeah, call in with your health questions, and we'll do our best to answer your questions and join the chat room. You can do that on extremehealthradio.com/live, and you can listen on that page as it's happening and join the chat room that way. Or you could also email your question, Justin, at extremehealthradio.com.
Or Kate, Kate, at extremehealthradio.com.
Or there's also a voicemail tab that's on the right side of our webpage right now that you can click on, and you can record a message, and we'll play it on the air for our guests.
Yeah,
or
that's
for
a great
us.
feature. I like that feature.
Yeah, and not as many people use it as we would like. At the beginning, a lot of people did, but it's a great way because you can record the question, and if you don't like it, you can just re-record it until you sound good.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, you can just re-record it, and then we can play it on the air.
Oh, that's really good to know. I don't know. Have you ever mentioned that before?
I don't think so.
Wow. Because a lot of people, I know that I don't like half the things I sound like or say, and you wish you had a second shot at it. So and if you even want to reword it and you didn't say it right, then
yeah,
it's really good to know.
And you can listen to it, and if you don't sound like you let everything out correctly, then you can just cancel, re-record, and
great.
It's a great way to ask your questions too without really being on the air or being live or anything like that. So
yeah.
Please use that. extremehealthradio.com/voicemail is where you can do that. And we do shows, 4 days a week?
You're going to get it right?
4 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to start doing them on Fridays.
We are. We're committed.
We're committed to Fridays. So every day except for Tuesday.
Right.
And
look at you. You don't have to name the days. You can just say every day except Tuesday.
Easy. Easy peasy.
But Tuesday in the future, I think after the new year, we're going to maybe go down that road.
Yeah. What road is that?
The road of weirdness.
You afraid to say the road of weirdness?
No, I wasn't afraid. What would you call it? The road of alternative thinking?
Alternative thinking.
It's going to be a little bit of a different
feel.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff do you think we should talk about?
I don't know. Just all kinds of stuff that we watched crazy documentaries on, outside of the box stuff. I'm open to whatever.
I want to talk to Michael Tellinger.
Oh gosh, that guy.
He's really fascinating.
I don't know if anyone's ever heard of him, but we've been checking him out for the last few months, and I can't get enough of what he's got to say. Yeah,
he's a South African chap. And amazing guy, though. I think he lives in the United States now, but he's from South Africa, and he's written a ton of books on alternative theories of how we got here and
what we're doing here. And
yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff we can get into on Tuesdays.
From what I've heard from people writing us, people are really interested in this Tuesday alternative thinking show. So
yeah, we can get into government conspiracies. We can get into alternative theories of how we got here. We can get into all kinds of stuff, energetic healing and quantum mechanics, and
this would be interesting.
Conspiracy theory stuff and
power of numbers.
Yeah, personal development stuff, the power of numbers, success-oriented information, all kinds of. It's just like
the list is the rabbit trail goes on.
It goes on and on. We could do a whole 5 days a week just on stuff like that.
I know.
Maybe one day we'll do another, maybe 2 days a week of that, and 2 days a week of health, and then our Friday show. That might be something to consider.
I'm open to whatever.
Yeah, if you guys let us know. If you guys let us know what you want to hear.
Please, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah, so we're going to do that on Tuesday. And then I think after the beginning of the year on Saturday, we're considering doing, let us know if you want us to do this as well, a show on Saturday called Survival Saturdays.
Survivor
Saturdays. Mm-hmm. Is that right? Yeah.
Survival sounds more like we're going to have a survival course in the woods. Yeah.
In fact, we do need to have a guy on about that.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah, there's a guy there's lots of people that we'd like to talk to about that, but there's one guy in particular that we're trying to get on. But the Survivor Saturdays would be people that have overcome. It would be a show about people who have overcome quote unquote incurable sicknesses and illnesses naturally. Mm-hmm. And they have gone against their doctor's advice and done things on a natural way. in a natural way. And it could be anything from cancer to heart disease to diabetes to multiple sclerosis,
Parkinson's,
anything that people have overcome naturally. We'd love to talk with people like that. And we're considering doing a video style interview. So it'll be primarily done through video. It'll be a video interview that you could watch on YouTube, but we'll also make an audio out of it.
Like a video, you mean that we'd be able to see the person and they could see us?
Yeah, they could see us, we could see them, and then the person watching could see both of us.
I love that.
Yeah.
I do.
And then we could also put those as part, as a podcast itself, so that people can listen on their iPods.
And that would be a shorter show, right? Like a half hour, or just however long we want to chat about it.
Almost like a human interest story, kind of like how news or magazines do that kind of thing.
I really like that idea.
We wouldn't do any commercials, wouldn't do any intros. We just kind of start out and introduce the guest and talk to them about their story. Really,
I'd love it. Story Saturdays.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Wow.
Yeah, because I think that it's cool to have people on the show like doctors and stuff talk about how you can reverse disease naturally, but it's something else to really have an interview with someone who's done it.
Yeah.
And, they may not have degrees or anything.
I really get super encouraged by those stories of just average, everyday people. I mean, the couple guests we have had on, Jeremy Williams.
Oh, yeah.
A couple other people talk about it. It drives it home. It makes you think this is just so possible.
Yeah.
And these people weren't even doing everything they could have versus, like all the information we've had from all the people, all the doctors and physicians on.
Right.
If you did
everything.
One of those 10 things, and if you did all of them, I get so encouraged by people who are making huge steps in their health and regaining, especially the people that were given like a really grim diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the more people we could have sharing their story, the better.
And it would be cool too to see the people, because it's when you get stories like that, I think it's kind of cool to see the actual guest.
I do too.
And because that way they're not trying to sell you on something or sell you on a book or a product or something.
Right.
That it's really, really genuine, and they're just on there to share their story. They have no real financial backing to any of this stuff.
Right.
Or motive, I should say. But
right, you never know how many people listening are going to have a similar, maybe brand new diagnosis, and they might just be on the fence of what route to take. And I just feel like the timing and the synchronicity of what could come from that would just be life changing for so many people.
Oh man, I know. So we're thinking about doing that on a Saturday.
Love it, love it, love it.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
We're busy little bees over here at Extreme Health Radio.
Oh my gosh,
I can't keep up, and I apologize to everyone who has emailed me, and I'm still catching up, so please bear with me.
Yeah. You have an excuse. I have an excuse too, but...
You're really busy.
But I'm backed up by emails from the beginning of November.
Well, it's easy to happen.
Yeah, I get so many per day. It's really hard to keep up, but I do my best, and I'm trying. But you actually have...
I actually have a full-time job.
Full-time job at your salon.
Yeah. Hopefully not with 2014 coming.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, I didn't tell you this, Kate, but I found this article, and this is from Yahoo.
Okay.
It's called 12 Fish You Should Never Eat.
Okay, lay it on me.
In fact, no, I'm sorry.
What?
12 Fish You Should Never Ever Eat.
Oh.
So it's got a little...
even better.
Yeah, it's got a little... So it's... I'll put a link to it.
Eat.
What's that?
Never ever eat.
Never ever eat. I'll put a link to this, but it says imported catfish.
Mm-hmm.
And they have, under each one, they have why it's bad and eat this instead.
This is even on Yahoo, huh?
Yeah, this is on Yahoo.
Okay.
I'm not going to read all of it because the article is actually, it's a long, long article, but I'll just read what the fish are.
But you'll post the link to it?
I'll post a link to it. Okay. Imported catfish,
mm-hmm.
Caviar, Atlantic cod,
mm-hmm.
American eel,
ew.
Imported shrimp, and Atlantic flatfish.
Okay, never heard of it.
Atlantic salmon, both wild caught and farmed.
I knew
so
that. So
that's one I want to read.
What a bust.
Imported king crab, shark, and orange roughy.
Darn it.
I love orange roughy. Oh, wait. 12 fish. Okay, so number 11 is, let's see, 10 was orange roughy, and 11 was Atlantic bluefin tuna. And number 12 was Chilean sea bass. But listen to what they said about the salmon.
Darn it.
Both wild caught and farmed. Why it's bad. It's usually illegal to capture wild Atlantic salmon because the fish stocks are so low, and are low in part because of farmed salmon. Salmon farming is very polluting. Thousands of fish are crammed into pens, which leads to the growth of diseases and parasites that require antibiotics and pesticides. Often the fish escape and compete with native fish for food, leading to declines in native populations. Adding to our salmon woes, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration is moving forward with approving genetically engineered salmon to be sold unlabeled to unsuspecting seafood lovers. That salmon would be farmed off the coast of Panama, and it's unclear how it would be labeled. Currently, all fish labeled, quote, Atlantic salmon come from fish farms. Eat this instead. Opt for wild Alaskan for now, and in the event that genetically engineered salmon is officially approved. So
that's
there
disturbing.
you go.
Pretty disturbing.
Yeah. And it's funny, they didn't even mention mercury.
Or Fukushima.
Wow, yeah. Crazy, huh?
Wow. I'm sure that's not even real salmon, and they're probably making it in petri dishes. It probably has like bear DNA or something.
I know. What in the world are
it's
they?
Probably silly putty.
What is genetically, why are they silly putty?
We did hear about how all the ingredients that make silly putty, right, have been in a lot of foods.
Yeah, we posted that on our Facebook site.
It's foodbabe.com, right?
Foodbabe.com. There's a video where they're actually putting the same chemicals that make up silly putty are in McDonald's Chicken McNuggets and their fries. Isn't that fun?
That's probably what our salmon is.
Yeah.
That's disturbing.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, okay. I'm going to read the whole article later because I get really sad. I love fish, but the more I'm talking to people, the more I think of fish is not such a hot thing.
I know. I think what's his name sealed the deal for me. Our dentist, Dr. Nunley.
Yeah, I know. I would agree. You okay there?
Yeah.
I thought you went away.
No, I was readjusting my chair.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that he sealed the deal because he said he hasn't eaten a bite of fish in 15 years. You know?
Is that what he said, 15 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because of his mercury. I mean, he's exposed to mercury anyway, being a dentist, taking people's mercury fillings out.
Yeah.
But, why add insult to injury and eat the fish as well?
Yep.
Crazy. So did you hear this news on Yahoo as well? ABC News is... Do you know who Amy Robach is? Robach?
Nope.
Double mastectomy revealed, second undetected malignant tumor.
Oh, you know what?
Did you hear about that?
I did. I didn't know her name, but yeah, I've seen some postings on that lately.
ABC News is Amy Robach,
I think.
Robach, whose cancer diagnosis after an on-air mammogram made news, says her double mastectomy has revealed a second previously undetected malignant tumor. Quote, my prognosis is good. I got very lucky finding the cancer through our ABC sponsored mammogram. And I got lucky choosing an aggressive approach, bilateral mastectomy, because while in surgery last week, my surgeon found a second undetected malignant tumor, Robach said Tuesday in a memo to Good Morning America staff. American TV viewers have become accustomed to watching news talent having various on-air health checkups since Katie Couric had her celebrated on-air colonoscopy more than a decade ago. Was that a decade ago?
Can you believe? I felt like yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
That was such a big deal. Yeah.
Most recently, Matt Lauer and Al Roker got their prostates checked on Today.
What in the world?
That just sounds
all right.
funny.
Yeah, it does.
They both went in hand.
It doesn't say
their prostate check.
It doesn't say
In fact, they
that.
checked each other's prostates.
That's out of control. I don't know why that sounded so funny.
That sounds weird.
Colonoscopy sounds just as weird.
So there they went hand in hand with their little robes on, with the backless robe, and there they went. And in October, Robach got her very first mammogram on ABC.
Still laughing.
Good Morning America as talent across the morning infotainment show landscape plugged Breast Cancer Awareness Month. What viewers are not used to is that correspondent announcing not long thereafter that they have breast cancer and will have a double mastectomy. Wow, that fell to Robach a few weeks after her October 1 on-air mammogram resulted in cancer diagnosis. Isn't that crazy?
Wow. I love how she said, what did she say? I feel blessed by the aggressive treatment I'm receiving, or something weird like that. Well, that's too bad.
Yeah, it's sad.
These people just don't know. They don't know.
It's funny because I was listening to something recently. I forget what it was, and they were talking about how when you fight cancer, things like that, when you have an aggressive approach like she has, what peace can there be made
in your body
when you're fighting something?
I believe that.
You know? And it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Like why, they were talking about not killing the cancer, because when you kill something, there's a reason for everything, and those cells don't want to die.
Right.
And those cells, yes, they're cancerous and they could kill you, but
overtake, yeah.
You want to assist them to leave the body. You don't want to kill these cells because it's like you don't want to kill, a little ladybug. It's like you don't want to kill it.
Yeah, you want to take it out and put it in the garden.
You just want to move it to somewhere else. And that's the idea with cancer.
That's a really interesting perspective.
Yeah.
It's true. It's so true.
It's crazy. There's so many people coming up with breast cancer. What if she just did a rebounder and did some natural treatments, rebounded with oxygen? Or
there are so many things that I'm becoming aware of. That's the last thing I would do.
I know. Double mastectomy.
Oh, it makes me sad.
I mean, she looks young. Look at her picture.
She's blonde, right? Yeah, she's really pretty.
She looks like she's like 30 years old.
Golly.
Crazy. So the results are in.
What results?
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding.
The results are in.
Of what?
Your specimen.
Oh, my specimen.
Huh?
Going there, huh?
In fact, you know what we should do? We have to take a little break.
I knew you were going to. You always do that.
Got to tease.
All right.
Got to tease. Because we're 22 minutes in and we have to take a break.
Of course, we're at 22 minutes. Okay.
Speaking of. We need to talk about that.
Yeah. This double number thing is getting very, very weird to me.
Yes. It's getting it's intensifying. Is that a good way to put it?
That's a great word. Yeah.
It's intensifying.
It's becoming very... Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But we also have the results of your...
Specimen. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, 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 ding. No, it's the results of your enema...
Experiment.
Fragment?
Tissue.
Tissue.
We'll go with tissue.
We'll go with tissue.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll talk about that. And speaking of rebounder, a few seconds ago, we're going to run this one for our favorite rebounder.
Nice. The Bellicon.
I have been a huge fan of rebounding for many, many years. And if you want to get in great cardiovascular shape, tone your legs, back, and butt, and stomach, as well as cleanse your lymphatic system from toxins and chemicals, you just have to start rebounding. It's imperative. And not only will it create endorphins that quickly become addictive to you, but it's very low impact as well. It helps to prevent sicknesses and diseases, as well as increase bone density, and it flushes toxins from your lymphatic system. It's amazing. And not only that, but it's a ton of fun also. I do it every single day for about 15 minutes. And we found the best rebounder on the market today in the world, bar none. It's called the Bellicon Rebounder. It's the Rolls-Royce of rebounders, in my opinion. And let's listen to some of what our guests have had to say about rebounding. Robert von Sarbacher is a health researcher and creator of the Mini Beat Protocol. And Robert, what's your favorite exercise?
In general, probably one of the number one anti-aging exercises on the planet is rebounding. So 15 minutes a day is good for that. You can find people who have had thermography scans on cancers, giant tumors, and when they're doing a rebounder, it would start spewing out and shrinking right in front of your eyes, the tumor would, as they're on the rebounder. So it's really good for that sort of thing. It's also very good for exercising internal organs. It's the only internal organ exerciser that I know of known to man.
Dr. Lindsay Duncan is the CEO and founder of Genesis Today. And what's the best way that you think of to stimulate the lymphatic system of the body.
Rebounding is incredible because it's good for the lymphatic system, and there's more lymph fluid in the body than there is blood. And the quickest way and the most effective way to get the lymphatic system flowing is through rebounding itself.
Yeah, because the lymphatic system can't really detox itself, can it? I think you
No, the heart, we have the heart, thank you, for pumping blood. And we don't have a heart to pump lymphatic fluid. The only thing that really can pump lymphatic fluid is cardiovascular exercise utilizing the thighs, the thigh muscles. And that's why rebounding and getting a burn in that thigh muscle is so important for the flow and the stimulation of the lymphatic fluid.
Wow, and they even put cancer patients on rebounding, don't they?
Nutritionists do.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but not a conventional doctor. But yeah, I've been learning about rebounding lately. It's quite an amazing thing.
Yeah, rebounding's amazing.
Health researcher and author of Cancer Step Outside the Box, Ty Bollinger. What do you do in your life to prevent cancer?
What do you do to treat cancer? What do you do to prevent it? Rebounding is something that I try to do on a daily basis. A little mini trampoline for those people that aren't familiar with the term rebounding, but it's basically just jumping up and down on a little mini tramp. What that does is it stimulates the lymphatic system. Lymphatic system is one of our primary detoxification systems in our body, and most folks don't stimulate their lymph flow, and so the toxicity in their body builds up because their lymph is not stimulated, and the up-down motion on a rebounder stimulates the lymph flow better than just about any other exercise. So I do that almost on a daily, probably 5 days a week, I would say I average doing that.
And finally, author and speaker and creator of the Longevity Now program, David Wolf. Do you think the Bellicon is the best rebounder on the market today?
Absolutely. I was just with the crew in Europe that does the Bellicon rebounder, which is an incredible rebounder. My God, what a machine. And it doesn't use metal springs. It uses like flexi ropes. So it's very soft and fun, and it's just great to play with.
Well, there you have it. The up and down G-force actually stimulates every single cell in your body. It's incredible. And as someone who works out in the gym a lot and does Qigong, I think that the best physical aerobic exercise, in my opinion, is rebounding. It's just absolutely incredible for the human body. And the Bellicon is silent, and it comes with a warranty, and you can get them in several different sizes and colors, and some of them have bars that you can hold on to in case you're worried about balance. It's a well worth it investment in your health and in your future. So check them out in our store if you'd like, or you can check out the videos on extremehealthradio.com/Bellicon. Again, that's extremehealthradio.com/Bellicon. That's B as in boy, ELLICON.
100% listener supported. Extreme Health Radio. Opening minds and transforming lives worldwide. Join the show now on Skype at Extreme Health Radio or call 949-505-9585. Hello. That's 949-505-9585.
And guys, I just wanted to let you know about that rebounder. If you guys are interested in that, I'm not sure if they're running a
Black Friday
sale. I feel like maybe they might. I'm not sure. They don't run very many sales over at the Bellicon headquarters in Chicago, but you may want to just keep an eye out for that if they do. And also, I wanted to let you know, too, they have a couple different payment plans also, because these Bellicons are quite expensive. They have one where you can do a PayPal. You can do it through PayPal, and there's no interest and no payment for 6 months if you're interested in this. So you could basically get it once you're approved through PayPal. You would do it that way, and you would get it with no interest, no payment for 6 months, as long as it's paid off within 6 months. And then if you opt for buying it through the Bellicon website, they have a thing where you can pay in 3 installments. So what you do is you pay for the shipping in the first installment, and then you pay in 2 more payments, and you can get it that way. So
that's a great way to do it.
Would be a great Christmas present.
They are pricey, but man, are they worth it.
Aren't they amazing?
Well, I've been using ours extra lately because of my session I had with Chris Kaler, and I can tell everybody about that.
Oh, yeah. What did he say?
Well, I'd found, like, when I was laying on all these things we have, I was laying on the BioMat a little while ago, and I was just... I was
on the Chi machine, and then I went to the BioMat.
Well, I laid in my sauna and ate my Alaskan wild cod. No, I was laying on the BioMat, and I don't know if it's good or bad, but I don't do regular, like, breast exams, like self-checks and stuff. But I was just kind of like, I had my arms up over my head, and I was relaxing, and I was feeling around on my left side, like under my armpit, and I actually felt a lump. And I couldn't tell if it was more like in the breast or in the, like, under my armpit. But it felt like it was very isolated. Like, it felt like a little marble, you know, like a little ball.
Yeah.
And the more I squished it around, it kind of moved around. Well, I contacted Chris Kaler the next day, sent him an email and said, hey, what do you think about this? And he said, yeah, let's look into it. So when we did, he revealed to me that it was a virus settled in my lymph node. And he said, you know, thank God it's not like a tumor or not cancer, whatever. But he said the recommendation he gave me was to do a lot more of the rebounding every day, along with just, you know, take care of myself, eat right, all that kind of stuff, and just let the virus run its course.
Right.
But yeah, I've been extra rebounding because, you know, anything you can get your lymphatics flowing is always the best thing. So
I know it's
and it shrunk. It's tiny. I could not even find it last night for the first time.
Really?
It's been about 3 weeks, and it's shrunk. But now I have a hard time even finding it. So I was pretty happy about that.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Bellicon, we have the. Let's see, what do we have? We have the biggest, the 49-inch model, the biggest one with the foldable legs, and we have it's the blue. We have the blue mat with the orange stripe on it, and then it's got the black bungee cords, and just an incredible
machine.
Yeah, you just feel talk about an endorphin rush especially when you do it first thing in the morning. Yeah,
that gets me going. We've actually just got our own. We've had the pleasure of testing them out at other people's homes and using them. And compared to the little one we've had, our Bellicon is just amazing. Yeah. It blows doors on all the other rebounders. It really does.
Yeah, it's a remarkable thing. And having used it in the past, I knew it was something that we had to offer you guys. And it's just really a blessing to have our own now.
Yeah, in the morning, that thing just gets my blood going. I feel alive. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's
so easy on your joints.
Yeah, it's super easy on your joints. See, I have a torn ACL, and so I needed something that was going to be really easy and soft and bouncy, and it's like you're jumping on a cloud kind of thing.
Yeah,
you're just jumping on air, and it's one of those things where. When you accelerate off the mat, you don't even really have to try to catch air, do you?
No, I feel...
you just...
It's kind of funny. It's like you
don't have to work.
You jump a few times, and then you continue to just have these residual jumps just because you're on it.
Yeah.
It's like it gets it going, and you just show up and hang out, and just very little effort of trying to actually be proactive in jumping.
Yeah, it's interesting because we were talking the other day about how great it is for you and I to recommend products that we really love. And, just about everything that we promote, we've either used in the past or own or have used extensively in the past or whatever. And it feels good to recommend stuff that you really believe in.
For sure.
Like, the sauna and the Bellicon and stuff and all the different things that we use. We just love them. Like, they're just so, like that One World Way, it's like, we just love it. It's so good.
I know you want to tell everyone you know about it just because it really is the best of the best. And we've tried so many protein powders I mean, when you find something that is the top notch, it's hard not to get excited about it.
I know.
I don't know. They are expensive items, but I guess when you can compare it to what you've been doing and then what the very best of the best is, you will just appreciate them so much.
Oh yeah. It's night and day compared to other rebounders. And we're not just trying to sell you. I mean, it's really good.
It's incredible.
If there were no such thing as money and you were looking to barter for one of these things, I'd say barter for this one. It's just so good.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
Yep.
Really, really good. Okay, so we have your test results to get to.
Yeah, so that was interesting. I had, for those maybe people who haven't heard the story, was it a week ago? Over a week ago.
You've been heavily into the coffee enemas.
Well, right. We all know that.
Yes.
And I had an interesting experience with one of the coffee enemas I did.
In fact, you just did a coffee enema before the show.
I actually did.
Uh-huh.
We could talk about why that was my last one for a little while.
That's right.
We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I had done a coffee enema and had a very interesting kind of specimen or tissue expel itself.
And that was what, I think about
probably a week and a half ago.
5 or 6 pieces.
Yeah. If you put them all together, they were probably the size of like a small lemon.
Uh-huh.
And in my opinion, it looked, and your opinion, when I showed it to you, I mean, it looked like tumors type tissue. It was gray. It was pink. It was strange. It just looked like flat. It felt like flesh.
It looked like just chunks of chicken.
It really did.
Yeah.
And what was interesting about them is they floated, like that material. They were very buoyant. Mm-hmm. So I was able to scoop them out and kind of rinse them off and put them in a container and take them to a lab. So I've been awaiting these test results, and yeah, it came back very different than I thought. I was expecting some kind of benign tumor, some kind of, I wanted to know what area they came from. I was hoping for all those answers. And when the nurse of my doctor's office gave me a call, all she said is, yeah, it came back totally normal. It's just normal fecal matter.
Yeah, I think that's weird.
And I said, huh, really? And she's like, yep, so there's nothing to worry about. I'm like, okay. And I hung up the phone thinking, even when she told me, I'm like, there's no way that is normal matter. I mean, I've never, ever seen anything like that come out of my body.
They're flesh colored.
What?
I mean, they're light brown, like
right, pinkish brown. They look like raw pieces of chicken. I have a really hard time believing that. And the fact that they separated from everything else out in the enema and they floated up to the top. It's strange to me. So here's my thoughts.
Uh-huh.
I think that during that week I was waiting for the results. I mean, I wasn't really stressed or concerned. I mean, you're a little concerned just because anything kind of freaky coming out of your body is a little interesting. Mm-hmm. But I was just praying. I had, close family and friends praying just because it's, you just don't want it to be anything like super. You know what? It didn't, I think so much so I didn't care as much about what it was. I just thought, I just don't have any extra time to deal with it.
Right.
Even though I have all the resources and know the route I would take if I did have a quote diagnosis. I just am so exhausted and wanting to pour into things that are just super, I don't know, just not a negative force in my life right now.
Right.
I'm on a different path. So I was thinking that could just put me back a little bit in my journey. So, yeah, but I think between the prayer and, you had mentioned months ago about tapping and all this tapping on certain meridian points of our bodies. And I just tapped for the last few nights and before the results. And my tapping mantra was all good results, all good results, all good results. And I kept doing that. And I feel like the possible outcome of what it was might have changed.
Is it possible that physical matter is changed by
prayer and
intention?
And intention and thinking? I don't know, but I'm going to be writing a blog post by tomorrow, and I'll post the pictures. A couple people have wanted to see the pictures of the tissue, and I would love any kind of feedback anybody has if they have any opinions about what they think it looks like, and if that could be regular quote matter.
Right.
Coming out,
yeah.
Or if they've ever seen anything like this and had a different outcome than I had, because I'm just really baffled. I'm thankful.
Yeah,
I'm super thankful. I'm grateful.
I mean, I asked the question: Is it possible that physical matter is changed by our intention and prayer? And I think it is.
Well, I think from watching the shows we've watched with Greg Braden, and I don't know if Michael Tellinger that we were talking about talks about this, but how in quantum experiments, things actually change with our thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that's, we've all heard it before, but to actually consider that might have happened with me for this, I'll never know, but I'm really interested. I'm really open to, because I just don't buy it. I trust the fact that the lab got what they thought were the correct results. That's not what I'm doubting. I'm doubting what happened between the time I turned in the results and by the time they had tested it and by the time I got the call.
But then also the results themselves could be flawed as well. You never know that either.
You never know that. So
yeah, it's I don't know. It's something. It's good news.
It's great news.
Yeah.
I have a very grateful, thankful Thanksgiving heart right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was really trippy. So I'm grateful, and that's my result. But I will post the pictures, and I'd love anyone's feedback.
Yeah,
because it's bizarre to me.
Wow. So you're going to post a blog post about that.
Oh yeah. So just be prepared.
I like it.
They're not classy pictures, but I have no have no shame at this point. I'll just post anything anybody wants to see. So.
Yeah, and you can look at it at your own discretion. We had something else that we were going to talk about as well right before the break. Remember what it was?
Oh, my numbers.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot going on with me.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah.
So those of you who have heard our previous Free for All Friday show sessions, there's been lots of talk about what's been going on with Kate and her ability to catch numbers in double sequences. So this kind of stuff happens all the time. She'll look at the clock and it's 11:22, and you think, big deal. And that's not a big deal, but she'll see that at 11:33, 11:44, 11:55, 11:11, 10:10, and then you start seeing it on bank statements. You start seeing it on receipts. You start seeing
all my totals, like every single total this week has been like 88.22, 39.55. Like it's starting to get really trippy.
What was the one where someone sent you a text message? You went out last night with Michelle.
I want to talk about that too, from Organics.
Organics, and if you're interested in her stuff, it's really great. OHGANIX, right?
Yes.
Organics.com, and she sells
awesome
organic
apparel, intimate apparel,
right.
and the bras are just amazing. I can't say enough about it because they're designed in a way that let your lymphatic system keep flowing. And by the way, that was really neat to meet up with her. We met in person. We talked a lot about great ideas coming up, things we have coming down the turnpike, and a lot of stuff she has going on with partnering in with the Hippocrates Institute.
Right.
There's some great stuff going on with her. So I had a blast, and we ate grass-fed hamburgers and just enjoyed ourselves. So
that's cool.
She's fabulous.
So she sent you a text message this morning.
No, she sent it. I turn off my phone when I go to bed every night, I turned it off last night. I went to bed early at like 10 maybe? 10:10, probably, right? So I wake up this morning. I slept in really late. I was super tired. I turned on my phone, and it is 9:22. I'm like, of course it is, right?
Right.
There was one text message waiting for me, and it was from Michelle, and so I scroll down. It was from last night at 10:33. I'm checking it at 9:22. She sent it at 10:33, and I'm like, and it continues. And this morning,
it's been, right now it's 12:30 in the afternoon, and it's already happened probably 8 or 9
times.
Yeah,
it happened when we went up to get paper towels this morning.
Oh, the receipt
9:22.
Yeah, the receipt was a certain 22 or 44 cents.
Or it was 8:22. It was 8:22. Everything's 22. Yesterday, everything was 33s. The day before that was 44s. They seem to be like every day there's a reoccurring number.
Isn't that crazy?
They take turns.
Yeah, the other day was 33.
Can anyone shed some light on this? I mean, I it's becoming laughable, but I love it because I feel like it's God connecting with me and telling. What I take away from it was what we talked about on our last free for all. I feel like God's just saying, I got you. I'm reminding you. There's stuff happening. Just keep proceeding, and I'm just enjoying it. I feel like Adam Bergstrom told me in an email when I asked him what he thought was going on that it was the creative consciousness, and I feel like I am. I mean, it definitely makes you aware. It makes you conscious, and I'll be sad if it stops.
I know. It's so fun, isn't it?
Anybody who's into numbers, or if anybody ever had an experience like this where it just it's been, a month almost, and it doesn't stop. It starts getting crazier.
Yeah, it gets, and it's weird too, because you only have a certain amount of instances per day where you can see it on the clock.
Right.
Or per hour, I should say.
Right.
But it's interesting that you see it you probably see it probably 4 times per hour.
Well, you know what's strange too? In our house, we have a couple clocks that are all like a minute off. So I'll catch it at times where it's not even supposed to be that time. Like the incorrect time will be 10:22 or 11:44. I'm catching it. My clients sitting in my chair, that they'll bring up their phone to check something, and I'll see their phone go on, and if I look down, and of course it's on their phone too. Like,
isn't that crazy?
It's everywhere I go.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about it, but I think it's pretty neat.
It's if any of you guys have ideas about what you think this could be, please comment on this show page. What is it? 183?
3, or send me an email. Anything.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah, crazy, huh?
And if you ever had this happen to you, because you feel like you're in the Twilight Zone.
Cheryl writes in, it's not about this, but she writes in, "Hi, Kate and Justin. I haven't been home to hear your broadcast after listening to 180 with Dr. Nunley, and the fact that he has just started using plasma for extracted teeth surprised me since on this radio station, let's see, on one radio, I heard in 2010 an interview with Dr. Yolanda Citron, a holistic dentist from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, that he had been using it, which is called plasma-rich growth factor, or PRGF, for a while. You should consider having her as a guest. Her website is iaomt.org. Not sure if that sounds correct. She is located in Florida. I'd like to hear how much further she has advanced since 2010. Blessings, Cheryl.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
Yolanda Citron.
Plasma-rich growth factor. Yeah, we'll look into that.
Plasma-rich. I'm writing this down. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Cheryl. I know what you mean, though, because your question really is, this lady's been using it since 2010, and then Dr. Nunley says he just started using it as it's a brand new thing, and you're wondering why there's a difference or discrepancy with them since that lady's been using it for 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
So we'll look into that. Perhaps, I'm sure there's a reason for that, or maybe it's a different substance or something like that. But we'll look into that. Thank you, Cheryl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the website, or the dentist in Florida, if you're interested, if you live in Florida, that she's mentioning here is Dr. Yolanda Citron, Cintron, Cintron.
IAOMT.org.
IAOMT.
We'll put a link to that.
Yeah.
I have an email here.
Okay, yeah, let's do that and we'll take a break.
From Stephanie, is that okay?
Perfect.
Hi, Justin and Kate. I love your show. You guys have inspired me a lot. Thanks, Stephanie. Hopefully my donation is of some help to you guys. And I have to say to that, every donation is beyond helpful to us.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
So that's huge. Thank you so much. She says, I was a vegan for 7 years. I started at 13. I struggle with veganism. I especially craved eggs and cheese. I messed around with a lot of different forms of veganism. I packed on pounds as a teenager from the diet, not understanding how. I emaciated myself through a raw vegan diet, both high and 80-10-10 raw, for several months. I found myself to be depressed in the diet as well. I just got off of it. I now eat goat and sheep dairy raw as much as possible, and I also eat free-range and grass-fed meats and a lot of wild-caught fish with a lot of greens. I am finally enjoying what I eat. I've been gluten-free for almost a year now. Before I started my high-carb vegan diet to an end, before I brought my high carb vegan diet to an end, I got off birth control, which she was on for a year. Mm-hmm. My face started to break out badly. However, before I stopped the birth control, I had almost an allergy to acne condition going on my back. I was really stressed out as well. I've been trying to clear my skin up and switching to an omnivorous, is that how you say it? Omnivorous diet.
Yeah.
Definitely helps with my back and face. I haven't been eating much of any carbs, just a pomegranate or citrus in the morning, and maybe some blueberries and raspberries during the day. I take liver cleansing extracts every morning before anything else, and include bitter greens, dandelion, etc. into my salads. I don't use makeup, and I found washing my face causes more breakouts. I drink carbon block filtered water. I have done a few enemas, coffee included. I still have some skin breakouts, and my skin is scarred up. Sad face. Also, I take minerals and I eat plenty of fermented foods. If there are any tips you could give me, I would greatly appreciate it. These are recent photos, Stephanie.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. I haven't looked at the photos yet. But.
I would, it sounds like you're on the right path, Stephanie.
Yeah, doesn't it?
The liver and the doing of the coffee enemas. I would continue on that. I would also try to heal your gut more. So maybe look into, there's a really great DVD. We don't have any financial stake in this, but if you go to hopewellnesscenter.com, there's a great DVD by one of our guests. We highly recommend it. We have this ourselves. It's called, what is it called? How to Heal Your Gut?
Heal your gut?
Or How to Take Care of Yourself.
That's
what it is, right?
How to take care of yourself. Yeah, or how to heal yourself?
I forget what it was.
Gosh, okay.
Yeah, it's by Stephen Hines, Dr. Stephen Hines, and he sells it on his website. Great DVD of a presentation he gives about how to really take care of your gut and take care of your whole digestive, what do they call it, alimentary canal, which is from your mouth to your anus, the whole thing. And he really does that. So I would look into trying to heal your gut. You might want to start with some bone broth. People say that's very healing. So,
that's the GAPS. The GAPS book is pretty good for that too.
The GAPS
diet book.
Yeah, the GAPS diet. We'll put a link to the GAPS book on this page. And fermented foods would be really helpful.
I think the turn for my skin, because I have had scarring and things throughout the years too, it's probably in one of the best shapes of my entire life right now, and I attribute it to a few different juice fasts I've done where my skin just clears up within a week and it looks glowier than it's ever looked. And then the second thing has been the consistent coffee enemas. That's when, would you say my skin looks the best?
A lot better.
Probably detoxing
really
the
good.
liver has been huge for me.
Yeah, it's something that you have to be consistent with, right?
You sound like, you have to be, I didn't see results until I was super consistent. And it's probably been in the last 2 months, my skin has finally gotten back on track. And I haven't had any breakouts. I used to get real cystic, like really large, like a random breakout, and it would last for like 2 weeks. It would just be like a cystic, whatever you call that. I guess a cyst underneath the skin. And I haven't had that in months. So, and I actually feel like my skin's actually repairing itself. I didn't think that was possible. I don't feel like the scarring I've had since I was a teenager is as noticeable.
Right.
I feel like it's clearing up and just kind of filling in. It's that and skin brushing.
Oh, skin brushing, yeah.
Yeah, before you take a bath or before you do a sauna, just really getting in there and kind of just opening the skin, the largest organ, to be able to really detox itself.
Right.
Because I feel like any kind of breakouts I've had are just because my skin can't clear itself out like it's supposed to be. So
you could do things like silica and MSM for your skin.
Right.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Skin brushing. There's lots of different things you could use topically. Aloe on your skin.
Really soothing.
Aloe is really great for your digestion as well. So I would focus on your digestion and your liver. So like you said, you're taking a lot of those herbs, which is good.
That's great.
I would highly recommend a book that we do sell this book, but I would highly recommend it. It's called Heal Your Face.
Oh, yeah.
By Marcus Rothkranz. And that's in our store. I think it's in our store. There's so many products, the great products that we promote, but I haven't been able to put them in our store yet. But I think if you go to extremehealthradio.com/wrinkles, that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Wrinkles. And that will redirect you to a video that and a page where you can purchase that book. But really great book. I would also look into what else for the skin. There's 1,000 things you could do. Silica, MSM, healing your liver. Maybe olive oil and lemon shots.
Oh, that's true.
Because that would help squeeze the liver.
Right.
Little shots before bed. You do a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of lemon, and you just
those were
that.
good. I haven't done those in a while, but when I was, that was very helpful.
Very healing for the liver.
Also, I feel like Stella, maybe from New York, has said that she invested in it's not that expensive, but had purchased the Vintage Traditions, the tallow that we put on our faces at night. I feel like that's really helped my face. It just kind of there's something in that beef tallow or the cow tallow it's really helped even out my skin tone, because I haven't needed to wear makeup like I used to, and I don't enjoy wearing it because I feel like I'm just clogging up my pores.
Right.
So I only wear makeup like once a week probably. And other than that, I just try to do as many natural things like the tallow as possible, and that's helped me personally.
Yeah, if you guys are going to invest in anything topically that you want to put on, there's a few different people that we really, really stand behind and use their products and really like them. One is the Vintage Tradition. So if you go to extremehealthradio.com / I think it's just Vintage Tradition. It might be in our store as well. The other one is Anne Marie Gianni's products for your face, all natural, all really, really great. I think that's in our store too. You can check out that. And then the other one is Living Libations.
Nadine Artemis.
And they have the three of them have such incredible products. And there's a new one that we are very excited about. We don't offer their products on our site yet, but you can get them. We just want to offer stuff that's, whether we or not we make any money off them. We haven't tried them yet, so these are the only ones. Or this one we haven't tried, so we can't vouch for it. That's why we don't sell it yet. But
we're going to. We have it ordered.
Yeah, we're going to get some here pretty soon. Try it out, and if we like them, we're going to sell them on our website. But it's called Morocco Method, and I think the link that we're going to set up for it, if it's something that we want to offer, is extremehealthradio.com/mm. 2 M's to stand for Morocco Method.
Okay.
But you can also get them at MoroccoMethod.com. And they have shampoos and cleansers and facial washes and body washes. They're all raw, vegan,
organic,
living, and organic. I mean, it's amazing. The guy who is the founder of that company is a guy who used to cut
Jackie O,
Lucille Ball,
a ton of celebrities. Lauren Bacall
used to do all these celebrities in New York back in the 60s, and in 1968 found out how toxic cutting hair was, and he just walked out and never to do it again. And
I felt like I so resonated with that. I'm like, I want to do that.
I know, right?
But I couldn't believe sorry, I interrupted you, but not only does he have to offer the best products, but there's also a hair coloring section with hennas, unlike any kind of henna I've ever seen. And that's why I haven't used henna in the past, because it always turns out that orangey, weird, brassy color. So as a hairstylist trying to move out of it, I'm excited that there's another option for me to maybe try out until I can be done with that career completely.
Yeah, because
the guy's on it.
He is on it. He talks about Qigong. He does Qigong. He talks about the crown chakra and how the Qi is stored in the hair. And he follows the moon cycles.
The lunar cycle?
He actually follows the lunar cycles for when he picks the certain herbs and ingredients for his products. So like if he's going to be picking certain herbs that he wants to formulate into a product, he'll wait till the moon is just right before he picks those to formulate the actual products itself. And this guy's, and I don't know how we haven't heard of him before.
I know. He's been doing this for a while. His product line has been around for a while too, right?
Yeah. So we're very intrigued to try this stuff out. And I suspect.
And get him on the show.
Yeah. We're going to book him on the show soon because we want to talk to him. But I suspect we're going to love his stuff.
I highly suspect.
Yeah, I highly suspect it. So those are some things you can check out for your face and for natural skincare tips. You can check out our store. And, it's interesting. You said you emaciated yourself through a raw vegan diet and on 80-10-10. A lot of people saying that.
Yeah.
80-10-10 is, man.
Yeah.
Not so sure what to think about that.
Not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah. So it's about time for a break.
Let's do it.
One World Whey.
Okay, here we go.
Our favorite protein powder. I just had a smoothie with 2 scoops of this stuff.
Oh, you did?
2 scoops.
I had 1.
You had 1? Mm-hmm. Love it. Okay, guys, we'll be right back right after this break.
Would you like to feel more energy and a better sense of well-being? What's flowing through your blood makes all the difference. In my 22 years of nutritional practice, I've found that the food and supplements taken into the body determines to a large degree the amount of energy and happiness people have. One giant step in the direction of more energy and happiness is the type and quantity of protein you consume. 2 years ago, I was introduced to a whey protein powder that gave me more energy and a better sense of well-being. Having struggled with low energy, this was a welcome experience. This protein is called One World Whey. It is the first ever undamaged whey protein powder from grass-fed cows. People report the following: profound improvements in blood sugar and energy, elimination of pain, better bowel movements, detoxification, younger-looking skin and fat loss. Athletes love the strength and endurance-producing effects. Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworldwhey.com.
And in my opinion, this is the best raw grass-fed protein powder on the market. It's developed on Amish farms. It's got 25 grams of protein in each single scoop. Crazy amount of protein. Increases your glutathione levels. It helps to release heavy metals and toxins, decreases inflammation all throughout the body, especially in the gut. And not only that, but it helps you build muscle and increase energy as well. It has tons of anti-aging properties. So really, really great protein powder. We like to use it every day in our smoothies. And our resident cancer guru, Ty Bollinger, what do you think about One World Whey?
Over the commercial there, you're talking about One World Whey. I want to encourage anybody that's listening, go to their website, go to Justin and Kate's website, and buy the One World Whey. That's something that we include every day in our diet. Every lunch, we have a One World Way smoothie with super greens mixed in with it. It is fantastic. It's the best protein you're going to get. And as they mentioned, it's from grass-fed cows. It's organic. It's cold pressed. I mean, it is, you're going to get huge nutritive values from this One World Way. It's the best protein on the market, I think. So then that's something that most people are deficient in is quality protein. So I highly recommend you go there and go to their website and buy this stuff. It's the best that's on the market. And I'm good friends with Stephen Hewer, who is the owner of Synergistic Nutrition. And he's a quality guy, and they have excellent customer service as well.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy. We interviewed him on episode 88, and he's just an amazing guy, and I really love what he's doing. That's why I love supporting his work and love taking his products as well.
Yeah, great stuff.
And if you'd like to support Extreme Health Radio and the work that Kate and I do, you can get your hands on this One World Way protein powder that I love so much at extremehealthradio.com/whey. That's WHEY. Or you could check it out in our store as well. That's extremehealthradio.com/whey.
All free shows, all the time on Extreme Health Radio. Opening minds and transforming lives worldwide. Join our community today. Call using Skype at Extreme Health Radio or call 949-505-9585. That's 949-505-9585.
Looks like we have a little Maggie Brown long bottom issue here in our studio. We've got our sauna in here, and Maggie thought it would be a good idea to go in the sauna.
It's the first time she's ever climbed in. She's building a fort. There's towels in there, and they're rustling around, and she's burying herself. She's like making a little Maggie fort.
Oh my gosh!
She loves these like detox
what
options.
What is she doing in the sauna?
I don't know. She's never jumped in there before. We've had it for a while, and she just jumped right in.
It was time to jump in. Speaking of the sauna, we had a bunch of different people ask questions. People have been writing in lately about asking us what are the differences between the sauna and the BioMat. And I figure we should just talk a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah, because a lot of people are wondering if they were to buy one or the other. That's a question we keep getting, huh?
Yeah, we get that a lot. And,
yeah, talk about that.
So the differences between the BioMat and the sauna, I mean, there's lots of differences, but they essentially do some of the same things. The BioMat is touted as being grounded, and so I'm not sure if that's true or not. We haven't tested it, but they claim that it is. Our dog is so funny.
Maggie's digging now. She's trying to get to the bottom of the sauna.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the BioMat is touted as being grounded, and so I'm not sure, like I said, if that's true or not. We're going to buy some grounding tools and do some testing around here pretty soon. I gotta, save up for these things. And, purchase all of them, but we're going to do that. And so the BioMat uses FAR
infrared technology.
Technology, FAR infrared light, and so does the sauna. But the BioMat, because it's a mat, you can use it in different ways, and you can use it a little bit more creatively. It also has crystals, which the sauna doesn't, and crystals are very healing, especially the black tourmaline that they use, as well as the amethyst crystals. And so they're extremely healing, and people use crystals all over the world to heal themselves, just crystals by themselves. And so the BioMat has those, but the sauna does not. So that's something to consider. The BioMat, I think it has about 30 pounds of amethyst and tourmaline crystals infused throughout the entire mat. So that's something that you'll want to consider. And this actually helps to release negative ions. The sauna releases negative ions as well.
I think it does. Yeah, it does.
It does, but it doesn't have crystals as the medium or conduit to do that. So it's a little bit different. The BioMat does release negative ions, as well as I think the sauna does as well. So those are two great things about both products. That's why you feel so relaxed when you're using them. The BioMat is something that you could sleep on.
Right.
So you could turn it on essentially the lowest setting, which is no heat at all, but it will still release those negative ions all night long. So you could have it on with no heat, and you can sleep on it, and you get access to the crystals and the and the negative ions all night long, and the fact that it's grounded if it is grounded.
Right.
So those are some things that are different. But what I love about the sauna is that you sweat. I mean, you would sweat if you use the BioMat. I think if you force yourself to stay on it at high temperature.
Do you think so,
right?
or would you have to be sandwiched between two of them to make that happen?
For me, I feel like I'd have to be sandwiched.
Yeah, I don't think I could sweat on that.
Mm-hmm.
But okay.
But you could get really, really hot, and it really does.
It feels like your bone. It heats you from your inside out. Like your bones feel like your whole body just gets warm. It's so lovely. But okay.
And the cool thing I like about it too is that you can apply the FAR Infrared and the crystals and the light to different parts of your body more acutely. Like it's right on your back or it's right on your skin. Mm-hmm. Versus the sauna, it's coming in and it's heating. It heats
up at your feet.
It heats up at your feet, but it's just different.
Right.
You can't really get that direct application like you can with the BioMat. It depends really what you want them for too.
Right.
The recent questions we've been getting are people, someone who has an autistic son, and he's wondering which one he should get. I recommended the sauna because it allows for that sweating and that
detox that way, detoxification.
Detox that way, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it depends. You're right. It depends on what you're needing it for.
I mean, they're both, to be honest, if you're really into health, I would save up and get both. I mean, it might take a long time if you're saving up, but with
they're big purchases, yeah.
Yeah, they're big purchases and they're costly and everything like that. And, but I would get both because you can use them in different ways, like you can use the BioMat to sleep on, which is just awesome. You can't do that with the sauna.
What was that about taking it in your car and driving with it? How do you plug that into the cigarette adapter?
Yeah, what you could do is you could just use a cigarette adapter to plug it in.
Because that is comfy. It's like when you go get a massage or you have an electric blanket or a heating pad and you sleep on that all night. It'd be amazing to take that driving with you, because I think we saw a commercial where they said use it anywhere, take it anywhere.
But you know what? I would if I were going to use it driving, I wouldn't turn on the heat because I'd get tired.
Oh,
I already get tired driving. Could you imagine?
That thing could put you out.
It would put you to sleep, and then you'd be
in a car crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, good idea, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might. That's a really good idea. You might not want to do that,
especially if you're going on long trips.
Yeah.
If you're going on a short trip, for 5 minutes up the road, but then it would be.
It wouldn't even heat up that fast.
Why would you? But I mean, they're just two different versions of essentially the same thing.
Right.
They're slightly different in terms of what you can do with them.
Right.
If you had to pick one, which one would you pick? If you had to choose one,
sauna.
The sauna.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm obsessed with both of them, and I'd be so sad if all of a sudden we couldn't have our BioMat because I'm on it at least once a day. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the sauna is when I get out and I feel like, oh my gosh, I just did something incredible. Like you without a doubt that you leave the sauna different than when you came in.
Right.
Your body feels different. I mentally feel cleaned.
Yeah.
I feel light.
And you're just dripping sweat.
Oh, it feels amazing. And for someone who doesn't sweat that easy, I mean, this has been a godsend.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. But I want everyone to know too that these are all just tools that we're using to aid in our detoxification efforts. They're not necessary. You don't need these things to achieve levels of health, because our bodies are able to do that simply through our thinking.
Yes.
And our mind and our mindset. And you could do a meditation and probably get the same results as these things. So I just want to let you know that it's not we don't need to consume and buy and purchase these things and feel like somehow we're less healthy because we don't have them.
Yeah, that's a good reminder.
Yeah, I just want people to know that having a positive mental attitude, if you have a negative mental attitude and are consumed with negativity all day and you have these things, sure, they may help you get out of that attitude. But if you were to have that attitude with these things versus not being positive and happy and upbeat and all that, and not have these things, I would choose the latter, because that's just
where it's at. It's the core.
Yeah, it's
these things are just
tools,
instruments. Yeah, tools and aiding you in your journey. They're not the journey, and they're not the means to the end.
I mean, if you can build a house without any tools, I mean, how awesome is that, right?
Yeah.
Think about it.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I just don't want you guys to think that, you have to have these things in order to be healthy or anything like that. These are all just
Good
tools.
reminder. Reminder.
Yeah, just tools we can use. Let's see. What else do we have to get to? We have quite a lot of stuff.
I have another email.
Okay, let's do that.
Do you want to do another email?
Yeah, let's do that.
This is from Tina. This one's so cool. Hi, Justin and Kate. I hope you're both doing well. I'm listening to your shows capitalized all the time. In the car, on my walk, while I'm running errands. Your show is so much fun to listen to, and the cool thing about it is that you get to learn new things while having fun. I hope Kate had a great time on her silent retreat, and that it helped her relax, unwind, and connect to herself, which I did, which was amazing. I was just listening to your show where you talked about to-do lists, and I had a thought. This is so good. I love that she wrote this. We usually write to-do lists that have to do with things outside of us, which usually require running around and doing errands, mostly unpleasant stuff that we need to do, but necessarily don't want to do. While to-do lists are very useful for keeping us on track during the day, they also increase our stress level, which we know isn't good. So my suggestion to those who make these lists and don't like the stress of it, I suggest that you put a few things on it that help you de-stress and go inward in the middle of all this craziness of everyday life. For example, if you have 5 errands on it, why not add 5 things like meditate for 10 minutes, remember to breathe, have a relaxing bath, call my best friend, and other things that make you happy. This way, you will be happy to cross them off your list and get more things, quote, done, and enjoy your day much more at the same time. It also may be a good idea to limit the amount of things you want to do in one day, and remember that doing stuff all the time is not as important as you might feel about it. Much love to you both, and a sincere thank you for bringing us such great shows. Tina.
Wow, cool.
I loved it. It was
Isn't
practical.
Right?
Practical example of the to-do listers, what you can do to also put a little intention back in.
It's almost like having like an affirmation or something like that you have right there.
It sure is.
Like a reminder.
Sure is.
Isn't that cool?
And writing it down. I think there's something very powerful about seeing it and writing and crossing it off. Like
maybe that's like a good thing for people to transition from having to-do lists to not having to-do lists, is to have things like this: meditate for 10 minutes, remember to breathe, have a relaxing bath, call my best friend.
That's huge.
And other things that make you happy.
And it's so simple, but why, I didn't think of it. That was such great insight into list makers. Probably because we're not huge list makers.
Right.
But yeah, we both have people in our families that are they live by lists. So that is such a practical thing. Tina, I'm so happy you wrote that in, and I'm so grateful. And you know what? On my little list that I do have to make, especially during the crazy holiday season, I'm going to be very intentional about adding in the other things. So.
I know, huh?
Yeah, and you can get creative with them too.
And you know what the coolest thing about this is?
What?
I wrote her last night. She wrote this in a little while ago, like maybe a week or so ago. I've going through emails to include in the show, and she wrote this in. And you know how I told you I've been so behind on emails. And so I read this and I thought, this is good stuff. We need to share this. And so I wrote to her last night saying, thank you so much. We're going to share this on our show. And guess who wrote in about 2 minutes ago as you were reading it?
Let me guess, at 12:44? Just kidding.
In fact, let me look. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, that would be if it was written to me.
Yeah, that would be no, 12:50. See, with me, it doesn't work.
It doesn't mean anything to you.
It does. I get
numbers are completely empty.
Yeah, I get 12:38. I get nothing. I come up empty. Isn't that cool, though?
What did she say?
Oh, she just said, feel free to share it. She said, please feel free to share the information if you find that it's valuable. Much love to both of you, Tina.
Oh, I love Tina. Tina, thank you.
Remember to breathe. That's a big one.
Remember to breathe.
And those are all things that we could put on our to-do lists and cross off and feel like, hey, like it seems like it would be a good idea to have 2 or 3 on there and then put one of those. 2 or 3 on there and put one of those. Pretty cool, huh?
I think she's onto something.
I like it.
I think if a bunch of people could try that experiment, like how we always talk about, it would be so neat to have a group of people who all tried it for a month and then talked about their experiences. Especially all those list makers out there. That would be so neat to see what happens with people. And
we want to find out if people on the program have listened to our last show and have jumped on the Coffee Enema bandwagon. Oh, please write in and let us know or comment on the pages. I'm so curious. What was that? The Coffee Enema project or something? The Coffee Enema. Yeah, we actually need to get that going, like a space on our site to be able to have like a little area where people can post their comments. Yeah. And pictures. Yeah, pictures. Maybe. Huh? Here's for the brave.
Hey, I'm posting my my chicken particles. So
Chicken flesh.
Yuck.
Marcelina writes in from Syracuse, New York. Hi, Justin. My name is Marcelina, and I have a quick health question I was hoping you or a listener could help me with. My father, who is 67, has spinal stenosis. Ooh. I'd say he's been dealing with this for at least 10 to 15 years. He's had 2 surgeries for it and can walk, but not for too long without too much pain. His doctors have him on pain medication every day, along with a variety of other meds for different things like diabetes. His leg falls asleep on him sometimes, and lately it seems like things are getting worse. His neck hurts sometimes, and his arm is now going numb. It's just really difficult to see him in such pain and in a fog from his pain meds day in and day out. We thought his second surgery would stop this from progressing, but it doesn't seem to have helped, and I'm afraid within another 10 years or so, he's going to be in a wheelchair, unable to move. His doctors have told him to get in a swimming pool to exercise, but he refuses. I've wondered if something like Tai Chi or acupuncture would help, but I don't know if my dad would be open-minded enough to try those things. I've asked him about going to physical therapy, but he just shrugs it off and doesn't want to do it. Question 1, do you think there's anything that he could do to at least stop his pain from getting worse? I know he will never be 100% back to how he used to be in his 40s, but I wish I could stop it from progressing into an even worse situation. And question 2, how do you get someone who doesn't seem interested in alternative healing to open their mind a bit? Heck, how do you just get someone to realize they need to be responsible for their own health and at least try to help themselves? Thanks so much. I know this is a long, complicated email. Hopefully you and Kate or someone listening will have some advice. It's hard to watch someone you love have to deal with such terrible health condition. Thank you.
I hear you.
Wow. Spinal stenosis. You know who I think of when I think of that? Dr. Steenblock.
Oh, yes.
Dr. Steenblock.
Yes.
Or Dr. Robert Rowan.
Totally. I'll write these guys down.
Yeah, we'll put links to their show pages and their websites on this particular show page, which is, what is it, 183?
You got it.
Episode 183. Yeah, so then there's all kinds of things that could be done, Marcelina, but like you said, if someone's not open-minded, what do?
That is a hard one for me, because even in what we do and how much we value our health, a lot of our family members just don't get it. Nor are they interested. So,
and not only that, are negative about it.
Sure, we get that too
from other people.
Right.
So it's hard. It's really hard. It's challenging. I would say, like I told you in the email, I would just, first of all, just start by praying for him. Praying that he has an open mind. That might be step 1, is pray that he'll have a revelation or a thought or something new come into his life, or awareness or thought patterns that cause him to think a little bit more about, sometimes it even starts with talking to people about the current medical paradigm. Sometimes what they need to move into a new open mind is realizing that the current medical paradigm is broken. And so shooting bullet holes in those sometimes, and that is sometimes a step in the right direction that will say, okay, well, if the current medical paradigm that I thought was so great is not working, what other options are there? So that could be a step 1 too.
I think there's a step 2 too that I've realized. The way that, besides, I think prayer and that kind of thing is huge, and praying for them to have, like you said, some kind of a moment or an aha or a dream or something that just changes them. But I think the second is living by example. Somehow, somewhere, somebody might see that you're changed by doing stuff you're doing, or that you seem emotionally more mellow. I don't know, but I know that, like, I've had clients who've come in the last 6 months saying stuff like, it could be anything from your skin looks great. Or and I say, I'm not wearing makeup. And they say, wow, what have you been doing? And that opens up a conversation for people to just ask what you have been doing. And then they might become more interested. I mean, the people I've been able to tell about coffee enemas that would have been not interested even a year ago. It's opening all these doors just by example. So,
right.
And like we said, even though maybe our own families aren't interested or even turned off by it or judgmental about some of the stuff we do, all it takes is the person being at that ripe stage where, I wasn't ripe 3 years ago. So
I was just asking you today.
It had to be my journey.
3 years ago, would you have been open to doing coffee enemas? And you wouldn't.
I said no.
There's no
I would have been scared of them. I would have been embarrassed by them. I never would have had any interest in healing that way. So no, timing is huge.
Timing's huge.
The people in your life are huge. You were my example that I kind of looked at going, there is something more to this. And, I pray for my own family and my own friends to have their minds opened. Whatever their journey to get there is their journey though. And I can't take it on as much as I want to. It doesn't mean I can't care,
right? But
I can't be responsible. And that's such a hard thing for me to separate. But I think living my life by example and seeing how good and clean and amazing I'm starting to feel is hopefully going to sink in somewhere for them.
Right.
But that's such a hard thing.
So I was learning recently that there's only 3 people's businesses that we need to be, that exist.
What is it? Or who's?
My business, everybody else's business, and God's business, right? So for me to want to somehow change some other person to see life the way I see it, that's not my business. And what they think about me, that's not my business. My business is all I need to be concerned with, and what God's business is. That's it.
Wow.
What other people think about me, that's none of my business. They can think anything they want. How other people live their life or what they do, that's none of my business. And so
but we've spent a lifetime making it our business, so that's such an odd
and then
shift.
What happens is it does become our business because energetically we take on their negativity, and that eventually becomes a disease for us. So ultimately their business becomes our business. But
I totally agree with that.
It's my contention that if we try to change other people and to have them have an open mind, it's always going to end up being something that backfires for us. We want to change people, and we see our mom, our dad, our loved ones, our brothers, our sisters, our friends, we see them suffering needlessly. And that's how I got into health. It's all these people dying and suffering, and they didn't need to. But long ago, I realized that it's not my place to try to change people.
Yeah.
And it's not my place to try to convince people that they don't have to have whatever surgical procedure. If they want to have that surgical procedure, that's completely something that's their business. That's not, if they want to ask me what my opinion is, that's great. But they probably won't because they know
they're going to get something that they're not going to want to hear.
But
then whatever they choose to pray, I pray for those people that choose for the chemo and radiation. They reach for things I wouldn't, but I pray for them. I pray for it to be used regardless,
Right, because you never know.
That's their choice. You never know.
And maybe that's their destiny to have to go through that.
Right.
Maybe that's God's will for them to go through that. And maybe that's all part of the journey that they're on in order to finally become awake and to see what's really going on. And so maybe it's in their destiny. Like my mom had chemotherapy and radiation. Fortunately, she had one of the 3 cancers that's actually receptive to chemotherapy, whereas just about every other cancer is not.
Yeah.
But had she not gone through that, I would never have woken up, and God knows what could have resulted in that case. So. I completely understand, Marcelina, your desire to help, and I would start, if you really want to do something, here's what I would do. I would offer your dad, is it your dad? I think it's your dad, some green juice. Because David Wolf said an interesting thing one time. He said, the only disease is a closed mind.
I remember that. Isn't that the truth?
Isn't that true?
Isn't that the truth?
I mean, it seems to be true, right? I mean, the only disease is a closed mind. So, what I found helped me open my mind is green juices. That's crazy.
It sounds so funny, but
it sounds so stupid. And when you drink your first green juice, there's nothing magical that's going to happen. It just tastes like a green juice and nothing special happens. But if you do it every day, things will start to shift. Do it for 30 days. Give your dad a green juice for 30 days. And I know you may be thinking, he doesn't want to have it. Well, put a couple green apples in there. Put a couple carrots in there.
Right. Put a beet, something
make it taste
sweet.
Good. And see what happens. I don't know.
That's a great suggestion.
So just some ideas.
We're behind you, though. Keep us posted, please.
Yes, please keep us posted. And Kate, last night, it was so cool. I finally made the decision to do my reading and my meditation.
After I went to bed, magical things happened.
Right?
You did you?
Yeah.
I didn't even ask you.
I got an email from Yvette, and she was asking about, she actually wrote in and asking about whether or not we like the music from Astaria Venus.
Uh-huh.
And so I told her, yes, we have a couple, because we interviewed Astaria Venus, and she has all those crazy sounds,
Right. Yeah.
And so we have two of them, and I forget what they're called. That's the thing. Excuse me. I forget what they're called, but I use them during the meditation. So I told her, I sit on the BioMat. I have the Chris Kaler's energy ring. I have my zapper on. I'm sitting on top of the crystals in the BioMat. I've got Astaria Venus going and all this stuff. And it just felt really good to get back to that, because for a long time I was not reading. I was not doing any meditation, because like I said before at the beginning of the show, I'm 30 days behind on email. I could spend the waking hours of the night doing email, but I decided, there's always going to be email. I need to get back to reading, and I need to get back to finding some inspiration like that. And so I did, and it was so great.
When I get in those, I don't know, when I get in those
inspired moods.
Yeah. And I just stick, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but when I make them a priority and stick to them, that's when I see changes,
Mm-hmm.
I've been reading again for the last 3 months, and I have probably 6 books going at one time, and I'm usually not that person, but it's I'm so inspired, and reading has just become so important to me again after so long of not, that I can't get enough. And once you kind of make it a daily practice, like the green juice, you're like, oh, look what I was missing all this time.
I know, right?
You've been talking about getting back into that forever, so I'm proud of you.
And I'm really excited to start reading. Have you guys read the book called A Brave New World? I'm really excited to read that. I have to say, though, I'm reading a book now called The Power of Now, and I have to say I'm not that excited about it.
You're not?
It's okay.
I'm actually really shocked.
Yeah, I love...
Why is that?
I don't know. I'd rather listen to Eckhart Tolle than read his book.
Is he boring to you?
I want to try A New Earth, because that's how I read a long time ago. Remember I did the same thing with Ayn Rand? I read her book...
Fountainhead?
The Fountainhead.
Or Atlas Shrugged.
And Atlas Shrugged. Atlas Shrugged, I love. Fountainhead, I didn't like at all.
Huh.
And so maybe it's the same thing with Eckhart Tolle.
That's funny, because I started A New Earth when I was on my silent retreat, and I really like it.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the book, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's the book. But so I about 20 pages until I'm done with that, and then I'm going to be on A New Earth.
Good.
Oh, no. What is it called? Brave New World.
Oh, Brave New World. Sorry, yes.
Brave New World.
Let me know.
So I got another question here, another email. Can't say that word too loudly. Kate's chatting away in the chat room.
I am. I love this chat room. We have Sagi. We have another guest 183. I'm not sure who. Looks like a little girl icon, which is so much fun.
Do you have any other emails, or do I have...
I have one from Stella here.
Okay, let me finish. Yeah, you do Stella's, and I think we're...
It's very quick.
Yes. Do.
Hey, Justin and Kate, about the vitamin C Health Force powder, I gave it back to Whole Foods. My gut intuition said it's better to give it back, and I didn't react well with it. It tasted like artificial flavoring. Stella.
Oh.
That's been quite the... We've been curious about the maltodextrin that is added into the Health Force vitamin C powder.
It's been quite the controversy here at Extreme Health Radio, hasn't it?
So that's Stella's opinion and what she decided to do with it. I'm still looking into it.
I'm wondering if Stella did any muscle testing with it.
Interesting.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Huh. Stella, if you're listening to this, let us know if you've done that. I'm curious.
Yeah, interesting stuff. So yeah, it has maltodextrin. People say that it can come from genetically modified corn, but I suspect that Jamie Sheridan would never have any GMO products in his.
I would not believe. I would be shocked if that were the case.
Yeah, we should actually call them. I got to do that. Okay,
With
so
all
we
our
got-
extra time.
Yeah, right. We got a reader from Norway writes in on our episode number 179. She left a comment. Pretty interesting. She says, let's see. Thanks for sharing your enema experiences, Kate. Smiley face. I've been doing coffee enemas once a week for so for the last couple months. I typically take the full enema bucket, 21 ounces, and hold it for 30 minutes laying on my left side.
Dang.
Crazy.
On her left side.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's weird, huh?
Okay.
I had not had anything, quote, strange come out, but last week after doing one in the morning, I felt a squeeze under my ribcage in the afternoon while driving. Not a good place to have
Yeah.
an issue.
Any squeezing going on.
Yeah, no squeezing going on. While driving and radiating out in all directions up to my shoulder. Oh, that's crazy. Later that evening, the area around my liver gallbladder felt uncomfortable. The next morning, I felt compelled to do another enema, though I never had done them 2 days in a row. I was short on time and decided to do a water one for the first time. I let the water flow in, and I could not hold it even for 5 seconds. Almost immediately, I had to jump and expel it. In doing so, around 30 gallstones came pouring out and sank to the bottom of the toilet.
Oh my gosh.
After getting over my shock, I did another water enema and was then able to hold it for 30 minutes with nothing else strange seeming to come out. I have not had trouble with my gallbladder in the past, certainly not the pain that some people experience, but I'm glad they came out because it could have led to that eventually. Interesting.
Whoa. Well, here's the thing. When I had a gallbladder attack, I've had 2 of them very bad that I almost wanted to die.
Really?
Yeah. And I read some symptoms of gallbladder attacks, and sure enough, that's a very common symptom before you have one is shoulder pain up in your shoulder and your shoulder blade.
Is that right?
The weirdest thing. So I know what she talks about. That's the only time I've ever had pain in my shoulder blade is right before I had a gallbladder attack, which thank God I haven't had for a year. But that's interesting that an enema brought out gallstones, like tons of them.
Yeah, I always thought, you know what I want to do? I always thought they came out as a result of the
flush.
Of the flush that you do with the lemon and the olive oil.
Uh-huh.
I want to do those.
Andreas Moritz style?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I want to do those.
Wow, but I'm shocked that a water enema brought that out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is so amazing.
I know, right?
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Wow.
Interesting. Maybe she's on the coffee enema kick like we are.
I hope so. It sounds like it is. She's sending for. I love people that are on my coffee enema kick.
I know, right?
It's been the best thing.
Let's do a couple fun facts with Kate, and then I got a couple other things to talk about, and then we'll do the show quotes.
It's a long show.
The long show, and yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
And now join us for Fun
There's
Facts
your favorite
with Kate.
part.
Oh, man.
Where you never know what the heck is on her mind, or gonna come out of her mouth.
Wait for it.
Gosh. Okay. Just like the beginning of our show, we need to X that out.
It's not going to happen.
It's not?
It's not going to happen.
I wish I had something you hated that I could play over and over and over. Whatever. Okay. This is for acid reflux, how to use apple cider vinegar.
Okay, what do you got?
Which, by the way, I'm a huge fan of because I have had bouts of acid reflux, and it is the strangest, most uncomfortable feeling.
It is.
And apple cider vinegar has very much helped me out. So It may sound bizarre to drink an acid as a cure for an acid problem, but there are good acids and there are bad acids. Apple cider vinegar is among the good ones. Add 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar to a half a glass of water. Sip this glass of water while eating your dinner. Similar to what we do, every night you and I have a shot, an apple cider vinegar shot before we eat. And man, ever since we've been doing them, I haven't had acid reflux.
So they suggest putting in water and sipping it while you
eat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar to half a glass of water.
Okay.
And I find warm water works better with apple cider vinegar.
Oh, really?
Myself.
Like room temperature or warm water?
No, I'm sorry, room temperature.
Okay.
I'm sure warm could be fine too, but the cold doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, it really burns my throat. I got to really focus on not burning my throat when
it's a good thing to focus on.
It's because I don't put too much water in there, you know?
Yeah, no, you go all in.
I go all in.
I know. You scare me.
That's my problem sometimes. I end up drinking 4 ounces of oregano oil. Wondering why
Michelle
I
was
can't
talking
talk.
about that last night from Organics when we were having dinner.
Oh, really?
She was like, it sounded like her fiance Jason does the exact same thing. Like you guys go full bore, you don't go half.
Oh, we don't mess around.
Here's 15 things to give up. And we're not talking about daily practices. Well, we're not talking about food and health things.
But this is good.
Okay, 1, doubting yourself. 2, negative thinking. 3, destructive relationships. 4, fear of failure.
Ooh.
5, gossiping.
Oh.
That's a hard one.
That's a good one.
6, criticizing yourself and others. That might be the hardest. 7, anger. 8, comfort eating.
Ooh.
9, laziness. 10, negative self-talk. 11, procrastination. 12, fear of success. 13, all addictions. 14, people-pleasing. And 15, putting others' needs above your own. Those are 15 things that I do every day if I'm not careful.
Yeah.
It's hard, but aren't those encouraging?
What is fear of success? I've heard that.
Well, I think fear of success is like you're self-sabotaging.
I wonder why you'd be... I've heard people talk about that a lot, but I can't imagine why people would be fearful of being successful.
It's probably so emotionally intertwined. I know that I've done that in my own life. Like, you know, with money and things that I've done over the years of being irresponsible, it's like you have money, but then you blow it the minute you get it because you're almost afraid of what would happen if you saved it and had more of it and you succeeded just on a monetary level. It's like, and I don't know where that stems from, but it's like you sabotage yourself so you don't even have to think. It is so subconscious.
I guess that could happen with people, who's, grew up in poor situations and didn't.
You don't think you deserve it?
Yeah, none of their family members graduated college, and so you kind of self-sabotage. Maybe people would be afraid of success because it would cause them to stand out from the crowd and get ridiculed. Or
it'd make other people, it would elevate them and bring other people down in their lives, and they don't want to make people feel bad. There could be so many reasons for it. I don't know.
I never really thought about that.
Interesting, right?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Gosh, what were some of the ones that stood out to you?
Well, I think the negative self-talk. I do that without even thinking about it. I'm so hard on myself. Right. Most people are. That goes along with criticizing yourself and others. I had to be very careful in the salon business about gossiping and being judgmental and criticizing people. That's a big, huge no to me, but it's a really hard pattern to get out of. Right.
Talking about people.
Yeah, and you get sucked into it from your clients, whether or not you want to go there or not. You just realize all of a sudden you're in it, and something I've been aware of for the last couple of years. And it takes such a tremendous amount of power to stay out of that circle of grossness. Yeah, because really, like we talked about, it's none of our business, right? No, it's not. It's not any of our business. Yeah. It's hard. Interesting. But that's something to work on. So yeah, those are 15 things to give up today and always if you can. It. Yeah. Did I tell you the other night I had that leg cramp? Did I tell you about that? Oh yeah. I did. I wasn't sure if I told you or not. No, you told me. I had that leg cramp the same night. Oh, you did? Remember? Did you? I haven't had one in about a year, and I had the one the same night. Whereabouts in your leg? My calf. Your calf? My right one. Me too. Did you? I didn't know. I didn't know it was your right. Yeah. It woke me up, and I wasn't I hadn't had a leg cramp. The last time I remember having a cramp that bad was in high school. That's what you said. I was at a friend's house. I think we'd just done a bunch of sprints for basketball, did a bunch of conditioning, and we were tired. And he lived right across the street from the high school. And we went over to his house, and we were just kind of hanging out. And I was sitting on his couch, and my calf just seized up on me. And so this was similar to that. I had not had a leg cramp. I'd had little cramps here and there, surfing or something like that, but never, ever like this. Those are the worst. And you know how when you're having one of those experiences, you feel like you can mentally relax yourself and make it go away. Yeah. And you can make it worse too by like tightening up and freaking out about it. Oh yeah, you can definitely do that. Easy. Most of the time when I have a cramp like that, I can just make it go away. Yeah. I can just say, okay, I can just calm down and breathe through it, and the pain lasts for a couple of seconds. This one came in waves that lasted for about
10 or 15 seconds each, and they were about 5 or 6 waves.
Ooh.
It just never, and my calf still hurts from that.
Oh.
But
still sore?
It's still sore.
Oh, gosh.
Like someone just took a baseball bat to it or
That's
something.
horrible.
But what I did was I got up in the middle of the night and I put some DMSO on there along with some magnesium oil. And I took some of Michael King's supplements, some mineral mana from Vitality Herbs and Clay, and I took one of his Shaga mushroom supplements.
Did mushrooms help with cramps, or you just didn't know?
I didn't know. It was 2 in the morning.
You threw the kitchen sink at
It was 2:30 in the morning. I figured, what the heck? Yeah, so I...
Interesting.
Yeah, and so I took some of that and put some DMSO on there, and boom, it was gone.
Wow. It went away like the minute you went back to bed? It was just gone?
Yeah, I just went right back to sleep.
Wow.
I limped over to the kitchen. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry you had one too.
No, it was strange that we both had one, though. We hadn't had one in forever. Interesting.
Yeah, we have a question.
Probably a mineral problem, right?
Yeah, I think it's a mineral, probably electrolyte. I probably should have drank some coconut milk or coconut water.
Totally.
But I didn't want to do that at 2 in the morning because of the sugars. You know?
Yeah.
If we had fermented coconut water, I would have done that. But, yeah, it looks like Saji writes in from the chat room. This is pretty cool. Could you bring someone to the show to shed light on the BRCA1 and BRCA2 cancer risk and genetic testing?
Yeah, I just saw that too.
Yeah, I wonder who we could get on for that.
Huh. Okay, well, let's look into that.
Yeah, if any of you guys know anybody that is an expert on those risk factors, because they say that those are the genes that get expressed. I was just listening to Dr. Bruce Lipton the other day talk about breast cancer and the BRCA1 and BRCA2.
Have we had him on?
We're working on him.
Okay, well, maybe we get Bruce Lipton on.
He's what is he? He's done a lot of work on cellular biology and he's a microbiologist and all these things. And
would our guest on Wednesday, Patrick Vickers, know anything about that?
He could.
Okay. Well, let's bring it up to him.
Yeah, too much into him. But yeah, we'll look into that. Because a lot of people think they have those genes and they think that
they're predisposed to all these.
Yeah, they're going to get
cancers in the future. Okay. That's we will look into that, Saji, for sure.
Yeah. So is your leg cramp all good now?
Yeah, mine was fine the next day I woke up. I feel really bad for you, but I've had those from standing before for times like doing hair, 12-hour days where you get home and you'll have one that night and you can feel them for a week. Same thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Do you know my favorite thing, though, is doing these days in yoga is I've been taking a lot of yin classes where you put your legs straight up against the wall and you hold your legs just straight up a wall for like 10 minutes and let the blood reverse its flow.
So you're laying it with your back on the ground?
Your back's on the ground, your legs are up against the wall.
And your butt is right up against the wall.
It's hard to get into that position, but oh man.
Does that feel good?
It's great. And I've talked to people in the hair world or anybody standing for long amounts of time during the day. When you get home, that's the best thing you could do for yourself.
Really?
Come home and revert or invert your legs and just get them way above your heart and just try to hold it as long as you can, 10, 15 minutes. And not only do your legs feel rejuvenated, I think you're doing amazing things for your circulation, amazing things for the flow. So
Right.
So yeah.
That's a good thing to do.
I don't know if that would help your leg cramps, but
I wonder, inversions, and that would probably be good. Like you can get an inversion table or the yoga swing that we sell or something like that.
Yeah.
Help with that. Wow. Lots of good stuff.
Be careful not to smash Maggie. She's right by the wheel of your chair.
Oh my gosh. If I move my chair, I'm going to roll over her nose.
I know. That's why I just looked down. I actually had to kick her out of the sauna. She was making she was nesting.
Oh, she was.
She was starting to make this little circle with all the towels at the bottom of it. But I thought, if she gets cozy in there and pees. Oh, because that thing is, the bottom of the sauna is fabric. And I thought, there's no way. We would have to buy a new sauna. It wasn't worth having her in there.
Oh my gosh. We would be constantly smelling her pee.
Oh, it'd be the worst.
Not a good situation.
No. Wow. Could have gotten really bad really fast.
Oh my gosh. She's nesting. So now it's about time to give her a walk, right? It's about I get 128. It's no good. It's
not working for you.
Yeah, it's not working for me. It's about 128 in the afternoon here on Sunday.
I'm going to go eat a little lunch and then let's go on a walk.
We'll take her down to the beach. A little bit more daylight left in the day.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And we'll take Maggie on a long walk.
Thanks everybody for staying with us for such a long
Yeah.
a long free-for-all today.
Yeah, so cool. We have
Awesome.
people in the chat room listening in. This is great. The idea in the future is to have tons of people all answering each other's questions and building an online community together where we can get people's questions answered, because that's, I think, the future of where we're going with this.
I do too. It's this community we're surrounding ourselves with and building up. It's just awesome.
I know,
Amazing
right?
connections. I'm very grateful.
So if you guys, we'll do the quote at the very end. So if you guys would do us a favor, and if you could share this show with your friends, we'd be so grateful for that on Facebook or Twitter or whatever social media thing you want to use, or just maybe even email. It's extremehealthradio.com/183, and it will be available soon. We'll put the show notes and get all the stuff together and post that soon. But if you could share that with your friends, we'd be so grateful for that. And if you have any comments about anything that we posted on the show or talked about on the show, you can go to that show page and make your comments at the very bottom of that box. And we'd love to have you post your comments or questions, anything like that. And we didn't even get to, Kate, our previous show guests, did we?
No. Gosh, we could do a free-for-all every 2 days and talk about everything that's been going on.
Oh my gosh, I know, right?
We should mention them on, I don't know, this coming Friday.
Yeah, we'll have to do another one.
Yeah.
So I want to thank all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining us and being a part of what we do here, and for sharing our stuff and supporting us financially or through sending our links to your friends. Whatever you guys are doing to help us, we thank you so much. Without your help, we wouldn't be able to get this stuff out to you. So we really appreciate it. And if there's ever anything we could do for you, let us know. And Kate,
I have a
it's
little
time
quote here
for the end quote. And we're going to have to read it twice because it's really good.
Okay. Are you playing music?
I am now.
Okay.
It's subtle, but it's in the background.
Okay. No, I didn't know if you were like, hey, here's the inspirational quote.
Oh, yes, my mistake. Look at me.
You are slacking on
I
your
wouldn't be a good sound guy, would I?
Job response.
Okay, here we go. You ready? There it is.
Before we will say goodbye, let's leave you with something to ponder throughout your day. Here's an inspirational quote for this episode.
It just didn't sound right.
It just
without
didn't sound right,
that lead up.
I know, right?
This is brought to us by Ganja White.
Okay.
What if our religion was each other? If our practice was our life? If prayer our words? What if the temple was the earth? If forest were our church? If holy water, the rivers, lakes, and ocean? What if meditation was our relationships? If the teacher was life? If wisdom was self-knowledge? If love was the center of our being?
I love that. I think we might have to read that again.
Okay. You had to ponder that for a few minutes.
I did.
What if our religion was each other? If our practice was our life? If prayer our words? What if the temple was the earth? If forest were our church? If holy water, the rivers, the lakes, and ocean? What if meditation was our relationships? If the teacher was life? If wisdom was self-knowledge? If love was the center of our being?
I love it.
Pretty good.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to this episode.
It's time to go for now, but our mission does not end with this show.
Justin and Kate will be back with another interview packed full of ideas, discoveries, and unique ways to regain your health.
Head on over to extremehealthradio.com/subscribe and instantly download our free gift too that contains cutting-edge strategies to start making healthy lifestyle changes today.
No material on this blog is intended to suggest that you should not seek professional medical care. Always work with qualified medical professionals, even as you educate yourself in the field of live food nutrition and alternative medicine. I'm not a doctor, nor am I offering readers or listeners medical advice of any kind. None of the information offered here should be interpreted as a diagnosis of any disease, nor an attempt to treat or prevent any disease or condition. While information in this blog and during